Hello, everyone. My name is Nathaniel Thoreson. I am the co-founder of DropChain, and today I am so excited because we have Snarec, the founder of AlgoPatties and the first ever DropChain-powered app, with us today. Today, we're going to be exploring his background in Web3, his application that he built using DropChain called AlgoPatties, and where he's going from here and how he feels the Algorand ecosystem is going, as well as the Web3 gaming ecosystem as well. So, without further ado, I would like to bring on Snarec. Please
Hey,
introduce yourself for
hey,
us.
I'm Snarec. Snare C is actually the way that I hear
Oh,
it in my
Snare
head. Yeah,
C.
no, I
Okay.
never usually correct anybody anyways because it honestly could not matter less. But yeah, I'm actually Chase Jamison. I'm a band director of all things, which will show you, which will come back next later when it comes to the ease that DropChain allows. But yeah, I jumped into Web3 not knowing a darn thing about anything, and now I have a game and a crypto and all of the things. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. Yeah, that was actually kind of where I wanted to start things off, was just kind of understanding your background in Web3. Kind of when did you get into the space? What first attracted you to the Web3 ecosystem? And yeah, we'll start there. What was kind of your foot in the door moment?
Yeah, so I mean, like the quick into crypto was the GME stock or GameStop. I was into that
Mhm.
crowd, right? And I jumped from that to Doge to Ethereum for like 2 seconds as I mined it, and then I realized I was too poor to actually do it and like use it, right? Because I wanted to get into it, right? The ecosystem and all that good stuff. So I jumped from that to
Gas fees be crazy.
yeah,
I
and I'm
know. I
not
know
I'm
how
I'm
much.
just a guy, right? So like that's not gonna happen. The guy, no. So I kept mining in the background for fun, while now jumping into Polygon from there. So Ethereum to Polygon because it's a step removed, but fees are reasonable. And I was in Polygon just long enough to get rugged and lose some money. Uh, and so then from there, I jumped into Algorand, and I mean, Algorand ticks all of the lovely boxes of like cheap, fast, easy. Like it just makes it just to use it is very nice. To build on it is much less nice, and that's kind of where DropChain came in for me personally.
Sure. So, given that, I mean, at this point, you've been in the out or the Web3 ecosystem for a while. You've kind of discovered Algorand and kind of the benefits that it provides for builders as well as the applications built on the tech. But going from the leap from just owning a couple of cryptos, whether it be on Polygon or Ethereum or Algorand or whatever, into actually becoming a founder and being behind a project to hopefully onboard the next wave of users is a big jump. To go from just owning crypto into building something is quite the leap. So what was the thing that inspired you beside to go from, okay, I'm just kind of a passive investor, now I want to kind of jump headfirst into the space by building my own product?
Yeah. So I mean it all started with me and a friend basically just creating a meme coin. If you know anything about Algorand, their dog coin is Akita Inu. And I was a mod on their, subreddit, just basically chilling. And so me and another big user on there decided to make our own coin just for fun, right? Because we were hip into the ASA scene at the time. And if you know anything about that scene, it was like rug after rug after rug after rug. But if you jumped in and out at the right time, it was a fun roll of the dice to see if you could like jump in. It was a bunch of dumb people like trading their money around essentially to see who could get like out right before it rugged. So we thought it would be fun to make a meme coin that we wouldn't rug, right? Because we're like humans who are decent essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So then we turned that meme coin, long story short, that meme coin, we wanted to start doing something with it. So we created an NFT project The NFT project kept going for a while, and this, a year later, I, being the RPG lover that I am, wanted to keep it going, and I also just refused to give anything up. So I'll keep building this thing until the end of time. But I took that NFT idea that we created from AlgoPatties, version 1 of just our little NFT project, and I started making a game around it, or around the idea. So I just did like a homebrew D&D style inside of Discord game, but it was so difficult to keep up with the thing that I had in my head while not being a developer, right? Because I'm not a coder. I've tried, and I've started to get into it a little bit now that I have the experience that I do. But like, coding a game is not in my resume. So I started to take my homebrew D&D thing, and realizing that I was putting way too much time in it for the little amount of content that I could create. It just was too much effort for the payoff that I was giving to my players. So I started to try to figure out how to build some basic, wallet connect features into Algorand. Just use, like, I had a website already. I wanted to just put a wallet connect in there so that my people could know how much gold they had, which is an NFT, in their wallet, to figure out, how they could buy weapons. I searched for, over a week. I just did research and looked and around and, tried to find video tutorials, anything. There is nothing, or at least there wasn't then. This is a while ago now. But, and I know AlgoKit's out now, and maybe that would have solved some things, but probably not, because I still can't dev, right? But I could follow a tutorial, so I figured there'd be some kind of a step-by-step walkthrough thing, and there is not. So that's where DropChain came in, essentially. Like you guys at DropChain came up to me and were like, hey, we noticed you're building this thing. Would you like to create something proper with easy dev tools that you could do without being able to code? And I was like, yeah, yes, that is what I want. I've been looking for, like a month now at this point. And yes, I would love to make my life easier. And not only that, but DropChain's integration with Bubble.io, which is a no-code building tool, took my little homebrew Discord game, which is like algo gaming personified, essentially, which is like a Discord game, right? They're all over the place. And I created a real game out of it, because I knew what I wanted in my head, and I knew if I even had the most basic of tools, I could create the thing that I had here and start building off of it. And Bubble plus DropChain allowed me to do that.
Well, that's obviously what we love to hear. That's the ultimate end goal, is to be able to allow people like you to be able to build functional Web3 apps, even if you don't necessarily know how to code. And I'm curious, since you brought it up with the Discord games, obviously Discord games are very, very popular all over Web3, and especially, it seems, in Algorand. And I guess I'm not totally sure why that's the case, where people decide to just build a Discord game rather than building a more fully fledged out game. What was kind of the experience like between the two, in terms of like difficulty and upkeep? How has your experience differed between either Discord or building your own game?
Yeah, so when I was doing the Discord game thing, my Discord game was a little different than most, in that I wasn't using bots, right? So a lot of Discord games, you'll see Arcadian Tales. It's a great game. I love it. It's just a bot Discord game. You've got like Thirstober and the horse racing. And that's great. I can't build a bot, right? I couldn't, at least, do it with the knowledge that I had. I probably, if I would have went that route, maybe I'd have figured it out. But instead of doing that, I was the bot, which means that all of the things that I needed to do in my game, I had to just do with like hard work and effort, and programs that I would just go and like write up the NFT and then send it to people manually, which, as you can imagine, is a ton of work. And I kind of knew what I was getting into at the time, but I just wanted it to work so bad that I knew I was going to put the effort in. But at its
Mm-hmm.
peak, my Discord game, I think I had maybe 12 like like legitimate players, and we were creating a really cool story. And I mean, I still have the story like on my website. It's like I could create a book out of this thing. But like 12 people, and I was spending, I mean, hours a week on this, little side project that didn't make any money or do anything, right? And it was like onboarding was really difficult because like who's going to stumble into my Discord on accident and create this fake character in this game that they would have to keep track of and follow? And I mean, it's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of work. It was fun, and I mean, I like the people that did it. Man, you are troopers, and I hope I gave something to you. But uh, a game is what people I like. It's what I really wanted. I wanted an actual game, right? So like being able to go on to Bubble, have an idea in my head. So like a little, sneak preview. Now I already have companions implemented into my game. I'm looking into a way to take those companions and be able to like send them off onto exhibition or excuse me, uh, exhibitions,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that
Yeah, that
like
sounds right.
parties, and yeah, go out and do stuff, right? So I'm building that right now because it's just an idea that I wanted to have and do, and when I finish it, people will be able to log in with their character and do it. I mean, it's huge. And it's not that difficult if you've got, like a little bit of an idea that you want to bring out. And I mean, the idea that I brought out is ridiculous. Like building this game with Bubble, like that's I don't know anybody who has taken to Bubble and built something like I have, which is way more difficult than 99% of anything you probably want to make in the crypto world. So if you even
Mm-hmm.
have a little inkling of an idea of what you would like to like create and build and try to pull people into and have people utilize, I mean, it'd be so easy. I don't have those ideas. I have an idea of a weird RPG with stick figures, but somebody out there's got an idea, and it's waiting for you if you want to jump in and start learning some tools, because you don't have to be a developer to do it.
Yeah, that's actually one thing that I love about my job of working within DropChain is we our whole thing has just been we're just going to give you the hammer and the nails and you're going to put together something cool where we don't necessarily have to think of the really cool ideas. We just love to see what people enable or create enabled by DropChain. And honestly, when Carter first told me that you were building an RPG game, I was like, "This, I will be shocked if this works, but let's see if it happens." And it's amazing to see that a couple of months later, and now there's a fully fledged RPG game that was built with no code, that is NFT enabled and crypto enabled, and all the benefits of Web3 and none of the downsides. So with that, I mean, talking of AlgoPatties, I wonder if you could just kind of show us a tour, show us around AlgoPatties, and show us what the experience is like.
I mean, this is AlgoPatties.com, and everything you see here is just stuff that I have over time built and done, and I mean, all of the things is me, right? I haven't like really like there's some like the old NFT stuff I had some help with, and actually that was very little me. Shout out to Gamer Heroine who did our first NFT series, but all the stuff here is just stuff that I with the help of Bubble uh, kind of threw together. Now this is kind of the magic of it, right? Which is the sign in with DropChain. So um, all you got to do, go to algopatties.com, click the sign in with DropChain button. Even if you don't have a DropChain wallet or anything, this is how you get in. You just click that button, and then you just sign in with Google. So I cannot think of one like Web3 thing that is so easy to just get started with. Right now, all you need to have is a Gmail. Oh, what a good loading screen! All you need is have is a Gmail address, and then you are off playing the game, right? So you log in. This is obviously a character that I've already had and been doing, and then you're right in the game, just like that. To give a proper little thing here, Now mine is a little different because I'm kind of like the dev guy, right? So I have it set up so that my little character has some different things. So don't worry about the levels up and all that other stuff. But this is my little guy. I'll go back here. So this is the home screen you pop into. Um, as you can see, all of these are different places. You can click into them to go check them out. Now, I know that you're not looking at, the Mona Lisa style of art and that kind of thing, but this is obviously stuff that I'm looking to build up over time. So as you start, you'll come into the guild hall first. You're going to get, the tutorial. It'll pop up here. It'll tell you what to do and all that good stuff. I've already done it, so you don't get any of that lovely stuff. But my energy is already full, stocked up, ready to go. So I can jump into one of these locations here, either north or east. East is the first place, north is the other one. And I can just jump into some battles. So my quest here I got earlier. I have side quest. I have to complete it before I can get another one. So my side quest is Berglunds need to learn that teaming up is bad for their health. Go make that true. So I need to go kill 3 Berglund posses. So I need to go find them. They're here, which I know from earlier. That's a Berglund, not a Berglund posse. Sorry. So I can still attack it. I miss wide. He attacks me. I attack again. I have a bow, so it's showing me my bow stuff. Hit for 2 damage. That's good. Tried Berglund me and failed. That's good too. Hurt for 5. He hurt me for 1. I won, right? It's -4. That's good for me. I gained 1 experience. That's not super great, but he's easy. 2 monster meat. You can use monster meat to get stuff. And then I got 1 wood, which is another quest item that I don't need right now, which is fine. So I win, and then I can repeat my battling here, right? And my goal would be to find 3 of those guys. There's also one other thing that is my companion leveled up. So I've got companions. I did not set this up so that I can show off companions very easily. I would have to hope for a really lucky pull to be able to show it. But I have a really slick setup with the companion. So when I would go into that button, if I would have clicked on it enough times, it becomes a companion battle will pop up if I get lucky. And what that does is I get to play a little mini game, which if you're successful, you catch the companion. So as you see, I have caught this little slime boy here earlier, and I've leveled him up to whatever level he is currently, which I'd have to look up right here. So when you catch him, an NFT is created at the time, and this is where this is a very simple game, but there's some really cool stuff going on in the background that you might not necessarily think of, but you're playing this game that will, upon catching this creature, create you an NFT that is automatically sent to your DropChain wallet where your creature is now kept. And so as I keep playing the game, I can level up my slime. I can give him stats. As I give him stats, it will permanently upgrade that companion. And as you can see, I've got quite a few companions at this point because I just keep catching them. And once you, let's say, tire of a companion, you can jump into the marketplace. And using the AlgoPatties cryptocurrency, which is also on DropChain, you can sell your companion. So if you look here, these are all of the companions listed right now. You can also list weapons. Nobody wants to sell their hard-earned weapons, though, and I don't blame them. They're a little harder to get. So you can list and sell your companions right on the game in the DropChain, or excuse me, on the AlgoPatties website. You can click into it to see their stats. And these are all, except for the one that says cancel, which is my guy sitting there. These are all companions that other players have gotten, and I've listed and trying to sell. Now, once I get the exhibitions built out and stuff, they might cancel all of those and want their companions back because they'll become much more useful. But that's kind of the deal here. So if I go to list an NFT, it pops up all of my NFTs, and all of these are automatically pulled from the DropChain wallet, right? So we haven't really talked about, all the back end stuff, which is kind of nice with DropChain in that you don't have to know how to use Web3 to play and utilize all of the benefits in my game, right? So if you're just a player who wants to come and not even a second think about crypto, totally fine. Now, if you're a player who wants to come and goes, oh my gosh, I really want a slime and I need, 7,400 patties to get that. How can I do that without grinding away at this game over and over? And then they might think, like, oh, I could jump into the marketplace and, like buy some AlgoPatties like any other cryptocurrency you can buy. That is something that they can also do. So here's my sword too. So if you come over here to my little sidebar, you can get the leaderboard. I'll give a quick shout out video wise to my leaders. These are all the other players that are playing. Good job, Will. You're killing it. Level 19. If you go, oh, and here's tell Raz he's got to step up his game a little bit. He's not in the lead. So if I jump over here, click on a wallet. Now it throws us into the wallet.dropchain network. So I can click into that, go into my Patties player again. And just like that, I've got my DropChain wallet right there, right? And it's loading my collectibles. This is all the stuff that is on your end of it, right? But this is the stuff that powers the game in the back end. So once there becomes other DropChain applications. Oh, see, I've got some Maddie stuff in there too. Once there becomes other DropChain applications, all of this is going to just show up in your DropChain wallet. And the awesome thing is, if you just throw your Gmail into this site, it just creates all this for you. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to, write down your key and worry about remembering. It's just all there, and it's like secure and safe. And like the most important part, it's easy. You don't ever have to jump on this if you don't want to. If you do, that's great. More power to you. From here, I can click go to platform, and it's just going to jump me right to the place that the NFT or NFT or the DropChain asset that you're on makes sense. And that's kind of all there is to it, right? So I'll jump back here for a second too. The other thing that's really nice about the DropChain network as a whole is me as the RPG designer. I can come in here and I can utilize other, let's say like me and Maddie got together and I said, hey man, I want to use some of your stuff in my game. And if he's cool with it, I can just add that into the game, right? So like, let's say you jump into some other game and you start doing some things there, and maybe we work together, me and this other game designer, and we start like making our things work together. All of that is very easily possible because of Web3 and DropChain, right? Imagine if like Call of Duty called up, what's another game? Oh, this is really bad. I'm a gaming guy too. Like, oh man,
Destiny.
There you go. Yeah, thank you. So
There's
let's say Call of Duty and Destiny called each other up and they're like, hey, let's make these skins cross-platform and do that. First of all, they're not going to, and second of all, they don't have any reason to want to, because you don't actually own the things that you like have in those games, right? They not only can they just pull that stuff away, but like there's no way for you to sell it or do anything with it. All the stuff that you get in AlgoPatties is yours. You own it. I like it. That's just the end of it, right? So you can sell it, you can give it to your friends, you can trade it, you can do whatever you want, because that's Web3. So I'm just really excited about all the things to come. And I'm glad that all of the things that I wanted in a Web3 game, I was able to do on my own easily with some legwork, but I was able to do it as someone who's never developed anything. I'm just a guy. And so if you have a reason to build something, do it. Join us.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's what's actually so crazy is how we've had quite a few people come to us where I would say 60% of the people building on DropChain right now are doing it completely no code, just because finding Web3 developers or a developer of any kind really can be really, really hard to find. And the benefit to using DropChain and a bunch of other no code tools, Bubble has pointed out to be especially helpful, is that you don't need any technical knowledge to build these things, and it's absolutely incredible. I don't know if I've seen like as in depth of a walking around AlgoPatties as what you just gave, but it's absolutely insane what you were able to build with Bubble. I can only imagine what your backend database looks like in there. It's
Oh,
probably
it's
so
nasty.
complicated.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nasty.
I bet. Okay,
Now, I
I
will
just
say
have a
though, the
couple.
back end is actually nice because that's like 90% of the drop chain stuff. And like, give it up to Carter. It is easy, man. Like to add, like a way for me to send an NFT to somebody, easy. For me to use any of the Web3 stuff has been like no problem. And the stuff that has been a problem, and this is part of the like me being really early on this thing, but like me and Carter worked through it together. So like the you all now, if you come and build, I trudged through all this stuff for you, so it all just works good now. It's ready to go. So jump in there and use it because the Web3 stuff is locked as far especially with Bubble is concerned. It is easy. The building the RPG part is not, but I did figure it out with a lot of time.
Yeah, well, we're maybe one day we'll have you come along and just like write all of our documentation for the no code stuff
Yeah.
because I don't know if anybody understands it quite as well as you do. Like even me, like I couldn't replicate what you did. It's
Zero
insane.
to hero.
Um, yeah. So and as you mentioned, I mean, like you've been basically all around almost just as long as we have with Dropchain. I mean, we launched in I think like November of last year of 2022, and we've
Yeah.
just been building the entire time. And your feedback has been incredibly important as we've been building anything. So sometimes I feel bad about like Snarec is just kind of like, or Snare C
Nah, you're
is
good.
kind of just like our guinea pig,
No,
where
it's
we're just gonna throw a bunch of stuff at
no,
you
that's
and
great.
see what you like. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's fun.
So I'm curious. I know that you probably have a lot of ambitions with AlgoPatties and just kind of exploring the whole side of Web3, and I know you're going to keep on building. What can we kind of expect from you in the near future? What does the future hold ahead of us?
Yeah, I mean, for the future, like the nice thing about where we're at, like some people may hate it, and rightfully so. I get it. But we are. I mean, we're definitely in a bear market right now, right?
Oh yeah.
So I am like there's like a zen feeling when it comes to me building this thing because I'm just gonna keep building, right? I've got like the foundation of my Legos set up, good to go. And now I can just start putting, like little flourishing pieces on and just keep building my base and going from there. But the hard stuff, the part of like getting the Web3 hooked up and like making sure the game is like functional and all that stuff, that's all pretty much there. Now it's just iterating and just slowly building on as we go. And I'm not even worried about like getting my player base right now, which might seem a little bit odd,
Hmm.
but as I keep building and building, it's gonna come, and I can start worrying about that stuff later. I'm really just in a time right now where I'm just gonna keep plugging away at it at my own pace and just enjoy it. Um, Now we'll see if we get mid bull market and things are flying and people are going crazy and crypto's
Hmm.
crypto again. Maybe that attitude will change and I'll just buckle down and really start hitting it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just right now just kind of enjoying the build and not and
Hmm.
taking it at my own pace, which is nice for again anyone else who's thinking about building anything right now. The pressure is really chill because I think we're all kind of in this stasis, waiting for the party to start back up. So prep a little bit, get something going now, and you'll be all the further ahead once the party really does kick off.
I think the benefit for us building in a bear market right now is we can do all of the things that don't scale now, and we can kind of get that non-scaling stuff out of the way, and then we can start to build to scale while everybody else is just going to be trying to catch up once the bear market or bull market comes back. So I think that there's a ton of benefit to building in a bear market. Least of all, there's way less noise and way less competition. You can focus way more on the product that you're trying to solve, but also you just have a leg up on the competition, and you're going to be ready for when things do pick up. I feel like because Web3 and crypto is so cyclical, that it just goes through these huge boom and busts of, people entering the industry, new projects being launched. And right now, if you're one of the lucky few who can survive through the bear market, now is really where you get, your first early adopters, the people who love you for what you're doing, not just because it makes them money. And I think that's where the true benefit comes in of building in the bear market. It's a great thing. And I think it is a blessing in disguise. That being said, I know that we're both kind of came from the Algorand ecosystem, and this is just kind of last couple of questions here, but I'm curious on your thoughts on the Algorand ecosystem at this point and what you think it needs to go from here to the next stage, which is hopefully adoption and a ton more people coming to the chain. What do you think about the current Algorand state of things?
Man, and I've been a little removed lately. Like I was right in it for God, like a year probably. I mean, along, and I still have. I mean, my largest, I think, investment, if you can call it that. I'm like a little guy, is in Algorand still. But I it is slow. It is slow right now. That's my biggest thing, and I think the people that are still around and still, you still chatting on Twitter, and you see, like things happening. I guess it's really slow. But I think that the people that are kind of still around and kicking and doing, I think are all just kind of the same mindset that like we're just kind of waiting. We're just
Mm-hmm.
waiting for something to come, something to pop, something to happen. Like I can think of the only project that really comes to my mind right now, and of course I'm like gaming guy, right? But it's like Fractal is like the
Mm-hmm.
biggest thing that's still kind of building and iterating. Like oh geez, this is terrible. Alchemon.
Yep.
Yeah, that's gone, right? And that to me was like one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest, like game things that was actually kind of like real in Algorand, and they didn't keep going. So Fractal's doing great. Like
Mm-hmm.
the graphics in there are great, and of course I'm like the guy who
Mm-hmm.
like looks up to graphics because like oh my gosh, yeah, I'm just again I'm one guy. Um, but it's tough. It's tough right now. But the thing that makes Algorand, I think, a little bit like hopefully more resilient than some of these other chains is that it's it works. It just works. Algorand works.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the Apple of like crypto, right? It's people. You don't have to think about it to use it. You get the wallet and you send a transaction and like 4 to 11 seconds later it's done. You don't have to think about it. You don't have like there's no variability in the gas fees. It just works. DropChain is like if you took the things that just worked in Algorand, but then cut out the fact that you have to know what Web3 is to use it, to actually use it. That's what makes DropChain, such a nice side chain, co-chain, its own chain, obviously, but it's what makes it set apart a little bit. That you cut out the nerdy Web3 barrier of Algorand to just start with.
Mm-hmm.
Gmail, everybody has it. Everyone has it.
Yeah.
So you're like 6 clicks away, well, probably less than that, to getting a DropChain wallet, and then you're done. And that's all you have to think about. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to Algorand specifically, I think we're all just kind of waiting to see. I don't know of any projects like in the wings that are really like anyone's really buzzing about. Like there's NFT stuff that comes out all the time, but that's a
Mm-hmm.
completely separate thing.
Yeah. Well, here's to waiting and hoping
Yeah.
and waiting for the best. Well, with that, Chase Snare C, apparently I've been saying it wrong
Ah,
forever.
you're fine.
Really, really appreciate you taking the time speaking with me. Is there any final closing things you want to talk about? Any message you want to put out to the world?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just, anybody thinking about trying to build something, anybody, wanting to get their toe dipped in a little bit into crypto or bubble, or drop chain or NFTs and all that kind of stuff, hit us up, like shoot us a message, because I mean, there's nice people out there that would love to have other nice people come and build some things, and we could do it together. It'll be great. I would love to get some collaboration with my game. So anybody who's got an idea, shoot it my way, and we'll talk.
Absolutely. And of course, without it probably doesn't need to be said, but go to algopatties.com,
Yeah,
play around with the game. It's a wonderful time. And I know that Chase put in countless hours into the game, and he did it just for the community. And it's a great product, and we really encourage you to check it out. That
thank
being
you.
said, if you of course, yeah. If you are watching this and if you have any interest in building a Web3 application, or if you just like emerging Web3 tech, then we encourage you to follow along with DropChain. Sign up for a free account, and you can start playing around with our code and no code tools to be able to build your own Web3 app. Otherwise, you can follow us on Twitter, join us in the Discord, and we will be putting out more content like this, talking to other creators, and trying to build in public as DropChain goes on its mission to onboard the next 1 million Web3 developers and 1 billion Web3 end users. So with that, Chase, thank you so much for your time. Really looking forward to what you have in store in the near future. And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking